All right, folks, a little bit more on the Kylie Rodney case. Do I agree with Gray Hughes? I believe so. I believe that's what it was. It was an accident. The video now is showing that, and I do have to top my hats off to Gray Hughes for taking the nighttime photo of the fire camera that's out there for forest fires and stuff, uh, and overlaying it with the daylight shots. It cleared it up a lot, and yeah, it makes sense to me. And then, do I believe that's her vehicle going into the water? I believe so, and I believe we are going to see probably the police come out. There might be charges in this case, but not other than somebody might have seen her vehicle go in the water and didn't report it. A lot lesser crime or charge. But literally, this might have been something that little Kylie uh, might have done herself uh, accidentally, or we don't know. But I imagine the autopsy will show a drowning. Now, I know a lot of people are still making uh, speculations that it could have been foul play. It could have been, but from what we're seeing on that video, the new one of the forest fire camera that's out there, uh, it does look like the vehicle drove into the lake. Uh, she could have been the last one in line, and no one's seen her go into the lake. But yeah, shout out to Gray Hughes. For that. And he did zoom in on it, so you can pretty much see the vehicle going into the lake. So yeah. So let's just zoom in on this. Now he's given another diagram of where they were, and I believe he's right. I believe the photo that we seen of the party with the kids all lined up in a bunch. They were like in a group, and then there was a couple kids scattered on the left hand side, and you can see where that photo was taken from. And that photo was taken from right here, right in this area. That's why that photo showed headlights, because they were in front of the car. Now, there was people saying they were partying. The party was way back here. This green line is where she went in. They were partying back here, but yet we were still seeing headlights. So that photo was, I believe, from Poser Campground, which is right here, where this green dot is, and that's where that one photo came from. Uh, my belief, and I believe in that photo, you can see a spray around it or dust around the vehicle, which makes sense. Either it was overspray from when the vehicle went in and cast up water and it illuminated around the whole thing, or it was sand, because it's all sand out there. So there you go, folks. What do I think? I think a lot of people have a lot of explaining to do. A lot of these people that came out and said that they knew what happened. It was a kidnapping. It was a murder. It was, you know, I don't know. Maybe so. We all might have been taken for a ride. Anyways, if you live in town here at Miller's, they have a sale going on Red Baron pizza. $2.99 a pizza. It is 10. So get them while you can, folks. So now there is proof that the car was in the lake, because when they pulled the car out of the lake, that wasn't enough proof that the car was in the lake. No, it was not enough proof. But now there is actual proof of the vehicle entering the lake. And it makes sense with the one photo that was out. And then you notice how they put a bunch of photos out, right? And the one photo that I found, I think is the right photo, and a couple other people found, is the original photo that they put up of all the kids standing around with their hands in their pocket with the headlights of a vehicle flashing on them. And in the distance, way in the distance, you can see a white light with an illumination around it. And I believe that's probably where they all were partying from. But then again, keep in mind, there was numerous parties that night on the lake. So, but yeah, I think this case will be coming to a conclusion pretty soon. And the only thing I can think of is slow the video down. That's out, the new one, and see if there was any vehicles parked there. Why her vehicle went forward, meaning, did someone get out of the vehicle and throw a brick on the gas pedal and sent the car on its own? I think Upchurch said something about that. Maybe somebody put a brick on it, or Xania or whatever her name was, went to go retrieve a brick or whatever was on the gas pedal. I don't know about that. I really don't know. But I am cooking a pizza, and it's going to take about 20 minutes. So I got 20 minutes to kill. But yeah, I think this one will be coming to an end soon. And I think the Delphi case will be coming to an end soon too. But there's all the proof we need. Now, whether she was alive or dead when that vehicle went into the water, we don't know. But the autopsy will tell us that. So, but well, whoever is, boy, a lot of people sending the evil today on YouTube, or even around where I live. A lot of mad, angry stuff going around here. You know, even in this small little town, folks, in Indiana, the evil even is all around us here too. It's just like the cities. Voodoo, magic, sacrifice. Yes, there was videos that I watched that people said Kiely was sacrificed. This is not right. Yeah, to a sane person, it's madness. But to people with disabilities or whatever, anything is possible. We don't know. But I do agree with Gray Hughes on that. And he did a fine job. What can you say? There's the proof. Yes, all the vehicles that are coming from, that we are seeing in that, didn't come from right here where everyone said they were partying. No, they came from way back over here. You can see them taking the road. You could see from here, they drive on that road all the way around. And she made that left-hand turn when she should have stayed going straight instead of making that left-hand turn. And this is the only thing that concerns me, is, was she driving? Because knowing that she needed to stay on this road that turned here, she decided to turn left and drove right in to the lake. Now, my only consideration on this is, someone might have been driving that vehicle that was not familiar with the area. And yes, it was an accident. But if someone else was driving that vehicle and walked away and didn't call the police, well, that makes it into a criminal case. And she might have been alive. She might have been up, but just too intoxicated to drive, and she didn't make it out of the car. Still, nobody reported it. And that would make it a homicide, with not with intent, but what do they call it? Manslaughter or whatever. So I don't know. But like I said, each day we're getting closer. And what can you do? The only thing anybody with any brains can do is wait until November 1st, until the police release their press release and information and evidence, which it still might be a criminal case. An accident, which I said before on this channel, an accident. That was an accident. But being that they did not report it, made it a criminal case. When something is just an accident, Kylie might have been sleeping in the back of the vehicle, but the facts is it was an accident that turned into an homicide or an intent to cover up something, a murder or not a murder, an accident. The only thing they could do is bring in the people that were there. If these people that were there said Kylie left by herself in that vehicle, she drove the vehicle. If they can get people to come forward and say, yes, she left the party by herself, and there's evidence of that, and she was driving, well, then she was too intoxicated or whatever, and made the mistake by herself. But if they got people coming in or calling the police saying, no, Kylie left with someone else drove her home, bingo. Now it became a criminal case. Something that was an accident, which if they would have called the police or found anyone out there, made it to civilization and didn't call the police or anything, well, that makes it a criminal case. For weeks they've been looking for her. And another thing, people are so hyped on this water. I can't believe she was. No, if you look at the footage of Poser Lake that day, look at the water level. Look how high the water level is compared to when they found the car. It evaporated that fast. Plus, they've been using it to fight fires and stuff out there, drawing out of that lake. So at that time, the car was probably 55 feet deep, 14 foot away from the shoreline. And when they did find the car, it ended up being 14 feet deep and 55 feet away from the shoreline. There's inconsistencies there, but I think most of us did the right thing by waiting. Sure, everybody had their scenarios or theories. Does it seem like foul play? Yes. Everyone thought that. Excuse me. Could it have been a hazing like some of us were thinking? They were all going off to college. Could it have been a fraternity hazing or whatever? Could have been. But whoever was in that vehicle drove the vehicle completely straight in to the water. So somebody was driving the vehicle. It could have been a lot of things. And just and people, what's funny is people are saying she was found naked. Well, how? Where did them photos come from? I've been watching people on YouTube tell us that she was found naked, tied up in the back of the vehicle. And I'm like, how? Where are you getting these photos from? Because them photos were never released by the authorities, the ones that have the photos. How did them people come on YouTube and say they've seen the photos of her and she was naked and tied up? I don't know. That's called leaks within the system, and it'll damage a case, and it'll mess a case up. Had to be a leak. If there's photos out there of Kiely, anything different than what comes out that we've been seeing, well, then somebody's been hacking into the police department's evidence computer and pulling out photos of Kiely. You know, where did these photos come from that these people are claiming are out there of her tied up and naked? Where? When the police haven't even released any evidence of anything yet. That's kind of shocking itself. It would have to be a leak within the justice system or a hacker that hacked the police evidence computer. It's possible. But it's funny, they haven't released nothing. And the police keep saying, we're not going to release nothing until November 1st. But yet all this evidence that these people are saying on YouTube of photos of her naked or whatever and tied up, where did them come from? Where did they come from? When the police haven't even released. If I was the police, I'd be saying, what photos of this, and where did these photos come from? Where did you get these photos? We don't have these photos, so them photos must have come from somebody, the killer or the people that were there, right? I don't know. I'm going with, it looks like to me, what I said in the beginning, folks, I think this might have been just an accident, but I really don't think YouTube and the crime community wants to hear it's just an accident. Someone made a mistake, and it might be just an accident that turned into a criminal case because nobody reported it. So, yeah, I don't know, but my pizza's almost done. And, I don't know. What kind of pizza? It was Red Baron pizza. It's on sale at Miller's, $2.99 a pizza. Raphael. Quote the law. I don't know what law was broken. Well, like I said, if there was someone else driving, Raphael, and they did escape the vehicle but didn't call authorities to let them know that there was somebody in a overturned vehicle in the water, and just didn't come forward or didn't say anything, that becomes a crime. And that's the only thing I can think of why it would be. And that makes sense because they did release the body real fast to the parents. And supposedly the parents cremated the body. That was their right. Once they had the body, it's their right to do whatever. But you would think if this was a big mass cover up murder, like everyone is saying, which it possibly could have been, but if it was that big of a deal, they wouldn't have released the body. They would have kept the body, and they would have had real pros come in other than the local autopsy guy to examine the body. And if it was criminal, you would think they would hold on to the body in case they needed to do any more testing for anything. I mean, that tells me they believe that it's an accident. You know, very well could be. Now I gotta go because whatever is attacking me around here today, I don't know. Maybe the mold or grass, crabgrass or something is up right now. But I gotta go, and I will talk to you folks later. Be safe and have some
We are
pizza.
unavailable.